Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. DOS here, and welcome to RWBY. Before we start, another update. As well as my new mic, I did get a new audio interface. The XLR actually came a lot earlier than I expected, so I got it yesterday. So I'm able to do a lot of noises and stuff. So if I want, I can do this and stuff like that. Hopefully the audio sounds good and sounds fine. Please let me know down in the comments if it's okay. I did get a comment on the last RWBY that aired that my mic sounded good and fine, so that's great. Hopefully this sounds even better or just as good. I had to tweak a few stuff in OBS to be able to have you guys hear what I'm reacting to and stuff. But I'm very happy with my setup right now. But today is not going to be a day of us reacting to a new episode of RWBY. Well, new episode, I should say. I should say like a next installment in me reacting to it. We are going to be reacting to 4 World of Remnant videos. We're going to be reacting to the World of Remnant videos involving the different kingdoms. So it was Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo. There's 8 in total, so I want to have it split up so that I do 4 and 4. And so next week will be a full-on actual sort of me reacting to the next episode of RWBY. We'll probably watch 2 episodes of the volume, and then we'll do another World Remnant video, and then we'll do the rest of RWBY of the volume. From the list here, it says Volume 5 has 3 character shorts to watch for starting the volume, and there's also Volume 6 character short before the volume. I don't know if there's any other. Actually, I guess I could probably check, if there's any other World of Remnant stuff. While I'm here, let me mute this so that you guys don't hear any of the audio for what I would play. So, yeah, so there's these 8 that are for this volume. There's only 1 season. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like there's only World of Remnant videos left, and then we have character shorts from the looks of it. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. But regardless, I won't be talking about what happened in last episode and stuff like that, just because we're not going to be moving on to a new episode. I do want to say, though, I've seen a lot of people agree that this is probably everyone's favorite Blake look that she's had. There's just something so clean about it, and I just really like the outfit. I've also seen people talk about how they really like how Yang looks in this volume, and I had someone actually mention something about Yang in particular that I wanted to read really quickly. Let me try to find it. Paula put that apparently wounded military veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan really appreciate Yang's story in this volume, especially those who had lost a limb like she did. And they said that, as attested by another RWBY reactor named Corporal Russo, a USMC veteran, they said that Yang's arc really helped them, and they identified with her and her struggles. I've actually never heard of this guy, and I actually let's look him up right now, because this is interesting. So Corporal Russo, I can't spell. Corporal Russo. He reacted to Death Battle apparently. That noise was from him. He makes compilations to reactions and stuff like that, and he does his own reactions. Okay. I was very curious as to what was happening. His last video was a month ago with Death Battle. By the way, if that's also something I should probably ask you guys before we get into the actual episode. Would me reacting to Death Battles be something you're interested in? I haven't reacted to a lot of the recent season of Death Battle. That's completely up to you guys if you guys want to see me react to Death Battle. I unfortunately can't react to a lot of the old ones because I've watched a lot of old Death Battles. But if it's something you guys want me to see, I can definitely catch up with the most recent Death Battles that they've done and give my reaction to that and give my 2 cents, especially if it's like some stuff that I'm familiar with. But that's completely up to you guys. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know down in the comment. If that's something you guys would like to see from me, let me know down in the comments. I can't speak. I'm not good at speaking, but yeah, back onto the point. I'm really happy to hear that veterans have really like connected with Yang, and apparently like it's shown very like well for how that happens. So I really like that. Obviously, like we're not going into the next episode of RWBY and stuff right now. We're going to explore Remnant, but I'm always down to learn more about the world and the story and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's head over to RWBY, the World of Remnant. All right, we've got 4 of these, so let's just start this up. Let's lower it a bit because RWBY can be pretty loud sometimes. Vale. And this is in 1080p, right? Because
well, school's definitely out. Let's see if we can't all learn a little something.
I wasn't expecting Crow to talk to me.
Not the best place to live, but depending on where you're staying, it can get a little easier. You've got towns and villages that pop up as fast as they fall. The faunas have menagerie.
A lot up in the north.
Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo. The 4 kingdoms of the modern era. And each one's special in its own little way. Let's talk about Vale. In the grand scheme of things, Vale's pretty well guarded. It rests on the northeastern end of the world's largest continent, Sanus. Like most successful kingdoms, Vale's survival over the years can mostly be attributed to prime real estate. Its front is protected by steep mountains,
okay.
And its back is against
That makes a lot of
waters too
sense.
shallow for any real threat to pop out of. Not to say I haven't heard some crazy fish stories. Aside from the main city, which the
It's interesting to have Crow talk about
the
this.
Vale territory also extends to several neighboring cities farther along the northwest coastline, as well as a small island named Patch. Nice place to raise a family, if you're into that sort of thing.
Is that where Yang and RWBY
all
live?
Attempts to extend the kingdom's reach past the mountains and farther into the mainland have been colossal failures.
Jesus.
But
I
like
always love the
said,
style of these
in the
World of
grand
Remnant
scheme of
videos.
things, Vale ain't half bad. Regular climate, natural barriers, and some serious border defenses means the citizens of Vale can spend less time worrying about survival and more time just living their lives. Of course, with the fall of Beacon, everyone's a little more worried these days.
Yeah, interesting.
They should be.
Okay, Crow. Very pessimistic. I wasn't expecting to hear Crow's voice. That honestly scared me a lot. Holy crap. That really, really scared me. All right. Well, then, in that case, on to Mistral then. It's interesting to learn more about the World of Remnant, you know? Understand where everything is placed and how everything works, you know? Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Where were we?
Thanks, Crow. That was...
The east of Sanus.
I didn't ask for your
Remnant's
ASMR.
second largest landmass, Anima. That's where you'll find the kingdom of Mistral. Of the 4 kingdoms, Mistral has the most controlled territory, meaning you'll find a wider variety of ecosystems and lifestyles. Trust me, this place is something for everyone, for better or worse. The high society folks of Mistral are known worldwide.
He sounds so
for their
annoyed by them.
contributions to fashion, architecture, theater, all the things that make the world pretty and tolerable.
Yeah.
But its lower class has got a fame of its own. Mistral's home to the biggest black market on the planet.
Oh,
Need something
okay.
that's hard to find? Got someone that's hard to kill? They can help, provided you've got the lien to pay for it. There's one common thread that links all these people together, though, and that's their respect for nature, particularly the sea
Oh, okay. Interesting.
The natural resources and geography of the area impacted Mistral's culture and technology in a big way.
Isn't this where Blake is going?
First settlers found shelter high up in the wind-carved cliffs, and as their population grew, so did their ability to utilize the land to its fullest potential. real bunch of forward thinkers. Of course, the bigger the
Interesting.
kingdom, the harder it is to govern. There's a reason traders
fair,
and
that's
thieves
true.
flock to Mistral. The main city's right under the council's eye, sure, but places like Windpath and Kuchinashi start to get a little farther out of sight. There's plenty of places to hide in Mistral.
Huh.
That's why you
Interesting.
gotta know where to look.
Really, really interesting. Huh. Isn't that where Blake and what's his face Wukong are going? That's interesting. It'd be interesting to see these places like actually in RWBY, not just in these paintings. Very, very interesting. I like it. Very big differences. Atlas. Now, this is one we've heard about a lot.
I
Good old
suppose
Atlas.
it's time we talked about the fine people at the top of the world. Atlas is Remnant's youngest and arguably most successful kingdom, but it's a bit of a special case. See, before the Great War, there was no Atlas. There was Mantle. At some point in time, a group of settlers were crazy enough to venture out into the northernmost continent of Solitas. I guess when you're that desperate, a frozen hunk of rock doesn't seem like such a bad place to call home.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, the harsh weather conditions proved to be just as useful as the mountain ranges when it came to keeping the creatures of Grim at bay. But it also kept the people of Mantle from flourishing.
I guess that explains why Weiss and her family lived there.
Trick up its sleeve, though. Whenever we're faced with a problem, our inclination is to find a solution. The cold climate of Solitas forced its settlers to adapt. They developed a more advanced technology, and they did it faster than the rest of the world. Because they had to survive.
Damn.
But it was the Great War that really kicked things off.
That explains a whole lot. The Great War.
Forms of dust application and weaponry allowed Mantle to expand. More and more territory was set aside for dust mining and research. The territory beside the kingdom's combat school, Alcius, was the most opportune area to construct a new R&D facility. But by the time things were all said and done, it would be much, much more. Alcius was reopened as Atlas after the Great War to house many of the warriors now seeking guidance. In an effort to give back to the citizens, Mantle applied all sorts of new dust techniques and technologies it had used in the war to beef up the Academy's campus.
Interesting.
School grounds expanded faster than they could have imagined, and even helped to better secure the surrounding areas. It wasn't long before the kingdom's military moved in, then the labs and research facilities, and eventually even residential
Canadian Ironwood
popping up. In time, it became apparent that the city of Mantle was living in Atlas' shadow, and so the decision was made to move the kingdom's capital. Mantle was old news, and the kingdom of Atlas was born. A golden age of prosperity, they called it. But those left behind in Mantle would probably tell you that it was the coldest winter they ever knew.
Yeah, that's interesting that they just decide to move capitals and just completely disregard Mantle. I wonder what happened to the people of Mantle then. Like, you leave someone like that behind, like, there's gonna be resentment, you know? It's gonna be... I don't know how I feel about that, because like, you shouldn't leave people behind, but I don't know, man. Like, this is extremely interesting to learn about and hear. It seems like the people of Atlas are much more cold, no pun intended. They're just very much like they're more militaristic, obviously, so they don't care enough about their people. But we got one more left, and it's Vacuo, probably the place I think I know the least about. I don't like. I think I've barely heard about Vacuo from the series. I wonder why they stopped making these Water Remnant videos.
Now, if there's one kingdom that's had
God,
it harder
it's so jarring to
than the
hear
people
of.
of Mantle, it's Vacuo, the last of the four great kingdoms. The western end of Sanus is a barren and desolate wasteland. But long ago, before man went and ruined everything,
Is this where there's a lot of
paradise.
the
vast
fauna?
desert was an oasis unlike anything you'd ever seen. A jungle bursting with natural resources, geographical defenses, and the world's largest recorded deposit of dust. Nomads that survived the journey across the scorching sands settled down in this little hidden gem, and over time the kingdom of Vacuo thrived. Unfortunately, comfort breeds weakness. While the rest of Remnant had to learn and adapt in order to survive, Vacuo's ancient society kicked back and lived a life of complacency.
So they didn't do well during the Great War.
Developed kingdoms set their eyes on everything Vacuo
Atlas.
had to offer. Its citizens couldn't do anything
Yeah,
to stop
Atlas.
them from taking it.
Or I guess all of them.
Years of human conflict, unrestricted mining, and ecological disasters have changed Vacuo. The paradise that was once there is practically indistinguishable from the surrounding desert.
The Schnee fucking
makeshift homes, uprooting and traveling frequently in response to the fleeting resources and occasional attacks from the creatures of Grimm. After the Great War, a formal government was finally established. But by that point, the folks living in Vacuo didn't much care to uphold its laws, making Shade Academy the only real source of order in the kingdom. But
jeez,
order
man.
isn't everything. Vacuo may not be as prim and proper as the other three kingdoms, but it's still standing. And the people there have a mutual respect for one another. See, there's really only one unspoken rule in Vacuo.
Oh.
If you can survive here, then you're welcome here.
Oh.
So there you have it.
Okay, interesting.
Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo. You know, Oz would always say that the four kingdoms were a representation of what mankind is capable of when working together.
Fair.
Ever the optimist. We sure could use him now.
Damn. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm just gonna keep it on this because there's not a whole lot to talk about in this, but it's extremely interesting. So it does seem like each kingdom does have its own benefits and their own natural defenses, which is why they're all still standing, obviously. And they all have very different lifestyles, which is fascinating. It's extremely interesting. Like we obviously like know some better than the others. We obviously know Vale the best, and we know Atlas the best because of all that. But like we don't necessarily like we don't know a whole lot. Wow, look at this merch. That's some actually really nice merch. I should buy some of that merch. Sorry, I got distracted. I think that's very, very interesting. The fact that all these places are very different, but they all have something in common. Like the people banded together to create these places. Obviously we'll learn what the hell the Great War was right here once we reach the end of the of it. Obviously the two I'm most interested in seeing for the Water Remnant is the Schnee Dust Company and the Great War, because it looks like, because obviously the Schnee family has a lot of hatred towards them because of what they've done. Obviously you saw right there with Vacuo, they basically turned the land into like a plane of destruction and desolation because of the dust farming. And hell, like the Schnee Company and Atlas like just forgot about Mantle and left them, and so I'm wondering if there's hostility there as well. I think it's interesting that what was it, Mistral has like an interesting balance of amazing like advances in art, like fashion and in theater and stuff like that. But then they have a very thriving black market. It's an interesting duo with it. Obviously we didn't get like anything interesting for Vale, because we know Vale is where we've been for volumes 1 through 3. That's where Beacon Academy is. It's interesting. I do love learning the world of RWBY and learning the lore behind it. I'm excited to see these different kingdoms be shown to us as time goes on. I'm pretty sure we're going to Mistral, maybe. Well, I guess from the thumbnail, I guess maybe the team Ranger is going to Mistral. I guess Vacuo. Oh yeah, Vacuo is the one where Blake and Wukong are going, right? Because I think that's what they're talking about. That's where her family is. And obviously Weiss is an Atlas. I guess it would make sense since we've been at Beacon. I mean, we've been at Vale for the first 3 volumes. Why not have one team go to Mistral, one team being Atlas, one team go to Vacuo? So it's interesting. Man, I guess my question for you guys is, out of the 4 kingdoms, where would you want to live yourself? I think personally, I think I would want to live in Mistral. I think it'd be the place where I would want to live, but that's just on my opinion from seeing this. I haven't seen how the place actually is. My opinion might change when I actually see it in RWBY, but that's my question. Obviously, we'll be back to reacting to normal RWBY next week. We'll probably be watching 2 or 3 episodes, and then we'll react to these last 4 World of Remnant videos, and these are the last World of Remnant that we will ever have. From the looks of it, for some reason they just stopped, and then we have character shorts for Volume 6, and I don't think there's anything else for, after that. We have character shorts for Volume 5 and 6, right? Yeah, Volume 5, 3 character shorts, and then Volume 6 has a character short. So interesting. But yeah, if you liked my reaction, leave a like. If you want to watch these ornament videos without my reaction, you can click the links down below. They'll be all linked down below. Become a first member for Rooster Teeth. You can get early access to a lot of their shows and stuff, and you get access to content that's exclusive to first members. And just support them, you know? As for myself, you can become a channel member, get 1 week early access to these catch-up series. Which, by the way, I will be thanking my channel members. I gotta thank Marith Flugelhorn, Benjamin Burdett, Ninjak11, and all lowercase RWBY for their support. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to be cool kids like them, you guys can go down below and either click the first link in the description, or you can click the join button and become a channel member. I'm actually in the process of getting rid of my other 2 membership levels, because I don't really see the point in having more than 1 level. So I'm just gonna have the base level, which is $2, and it gets you the early access a week. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next video. And as always, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. Goodbye.